Hi Jarvis, hi, good evening. Hi Jyotis, good evening. Am I visible, audible?
Yes, sir.
Mm. Hi, very good evening everyone. Hi students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. Let me start the session. இன்னைக்கு நமக்கு சூப்பரான ஒரு டாபிக் நமக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. JEE நீட் 10 11 12 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே உங்களுக்கு முக்கியமான மார்க் ரொம்ப வெயிட்டேஜ் இருக்கிற ஒரு டாபிக். Today's topic is more important topic. In the topic today we are going to see numericals in motion and laws of motion. இதுதான் நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம் இன்னைக்கு. As I already said, Sunday event attend பண்ணி இன்னைக்கு வந்திருக்கீங்க. It is well and good. I'm very happy to see you again. Today we are going to see some toughest topic in your subjects. இதை உங்களோட JEE நீட்டுக்கான ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் கூட நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். மோஷன் அண்ட் லாஸ் ஆஃப் மோஷன்ல இருக்கிற நியூமரிக்கல்ஸ். ஓகே, this is what today's class. Before that, இன்னைக்கு நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த மோஷன் லாஸ் ஆஃப் மோஷன்ல இருக்கிற டாபிக்ஸ், வாட் இஸ் த டாபிக் அப்படிங்கிறத பேசிக்ஸ் I'm going to tell you what are all the things you have in motion and laws of motion, and what are all the formulas you are going to use in motion and laws of motion, and we are going to solve some problems so that you'll be feeling very easy. You'll be feeling easy to solve those problems in your. I'm in mute. Okay. One minute. I hope it is able now, right? Okay. Since since I was mute in that platform, I'll start once again. Today we are going to see the most important and easy topic, that is motion and laws of motion. In the motion and laws of motion, main thing, basic concept we are going to learn. Then we are going to learn about the formulas. What are all the basic formulas available in motions and laws of motion. Then we are going to solve some problems based on these topics, so that uh, you can feel that this topic is really easy and you're going to ready for your competitive exams or your board exam. எல்லாத்துக்குமே நியூமரிக்கல் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்க போகுது. And moreover, few students are there to chat with me live. As you are seeing in YouTubeல பார்க்கறவங்க, I cannot நீங்க பேச முடியாது. You can chat in the chat box. Since private நீங்க students இருக்காங்க, அவங்கலாம் you can talk to me and I'll give time to everyone to talk with me. இந்த கிளாஸ் முடிகிற டைம்ல இந்த கிளாஸ் ஃபுல்லா பாருங்க. At the end, I'll give chance to talk to me so that you can ask me any question regarding this topic. I can give you the answer for those things. Okay. Am I audible now? I'm getting message that it is not audible in chat. Am I audible? Can you please confirm me, any students? Yes, audible. Yes, audible means okay. Fine. Motion and laws of motion. From like since you can learn these topics in 10, 11, 12. After that in your engineering or research paper எல்லாத்துலயுமே இந்த டாபிக்ஸ் வரப்போகுது. This is the most important topic in the physics. Physics இந்த டாபிக் ரிமூவ் பண்ணனும், physics almost half of the physics gone, 50% physics gone. So அந்த மாதிரி இம்பார்ட்டன்டான டாபிக் motion and laws of motion. Motion, laws of motion. What I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you now from the scratch, from the basics to top notch. That is what I'm going to do right now. First, what is motion? Motion, laws of motion. In there, I'm going to split first part as motion. What is motion? Motion in the sense, as you all know that the moving object is in the state of motion, right? But technically what we can say that if the object is keep on changing its position with respect to time, that is called motion. If the object is keep on changing its position with respect to time. If you see here, what is motion and law of motion is that if I take any object here, if I take any object here, one minute, let me connect my pad so that I can write and you can see it. Okay. If an object is here, this object, if this object is keep on moving, if it is changing its position, at 0 second it is here, at first second it is gone there, at second second it's gone there, at third second it's moving there. So if the object is keep on changing its position with respect to time, at first second it moves to there, at second second it moves to there. Likewise, if it's keep on changing its position, change of position with respect to time, this is called motion. If somebody is asking you what is motion, you don't tell that the moving object is in the state of motion. You just technically the change of position of object with respect to time is called motion. The change of position of object with respect to time is called motion. So hereafter you have to tell like that, change of position of object with respect to time. What is rest? Rest in the sense it is not in moving state, it is in the same place. In technically, not change of position with respect to time. An object is not changing its position with respect to time. That's it. Object not changing its position with respect to time. This is called rest. So rest and motion. Motion and rest. Even if you take any object here, at 0 second it is here, at first second it is there, and at second second it came to the original position, and the third second it came to the second position, at fourth second it came to original position, and fifth second. This is also called motion. This is called oscillation motion or vibration. So there are types of motion you might have studied in your class itself. If it is moving in a straight line, this is called rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. If it is moving in a curved line, it is curvilinear motion. Curvilinear or rectilinear, based on the motion path. If it is moving in a circular manner, means it is circular motion. It is circular motion. If the object is rotating by its own axis, it is called rotational motion. Rotational motion. These are the basic types of motion which you might have studied in your class itself, but I am telling you in short. So if it is moving in a straight line, that is called rectilinear. If it is moving in a curve, curvilinear. If it is moving in a circle path, that is called circular motion. If the object is rotating by its own axis, that is called rotational motion. Okay. If it is moving in to and fro, oscillatory motion. If it is moving to and fro, it is oscillatory motion or vibration. Okay, I hope that you got some idea about what is motion, rest, and the types of motion. The types of motion. Since I told you, I'm going to teach you from the scratch to the top notch. You will learn everything for the next 60 minutes. For the next 60 minutes, you will be taking all the knowledge about motion and laws of motion. Okay. So we have learned about motion. Here in the motion itself, we are going to see about the terms of the motion. The terms in the motion. What are all the terms in the motion? If the object is moving with the velocity v, if the object is moving velocity, what is velocity in the sense? The object moving in a rate of unit time. If the object is moving, how much distance it can cover in unit time, that is called velocity. How much distance it can be covered in unit time, that is single second. If the object is moving 5 meters in 1 second, then the velocity is 5 meters per second. If the object is moving only 2 meters in 1 second, then it is called velocity is 2 meters per second. So you have to measure for one second how much distance an object can be crossed in 1 second. But typically in practical situation, we cannot measure for 1 second, right? So what we can do, we can take, if the object is moving from one point to another point, you just take it. This is what the important point. If the object is moving from one point to another point, you just need to know that how much time it is taking for moving from here to there. How much time, the time taken, and the distance crossed. How much distance is crossed. So total distance divided by time taken. If you divide total distance and time taken, you will get velocity. So you need not to measure for single seconds. If practically it is not possible to measure. If you take a stopwatch and if you are telling that move and in just single second, if you are clicking, you cannot measure it properly. But you can measure when you take example for if you take 1 minute. If the object is moving from here to there, at 1 minute you are telling that stop. So you are checking that it had moved around 100 meters in 1 minute. In 1 minute, it moved 100 meters means what is the velocity? Velocity is equal to 100 divided by 1 minute. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 10 by 6. So this is what velocity 10 by 6, 5 by 3 meter per second. So velocity can be called as distance by time taken. That's it. Yes. Very good, Jyotish. Velocity is called distance by time taken. Perfect. In some books and some authors, what they will take, even we can take that velocity is equal to change in position by change in time. Change in position by change in time. This is also correct. Change in position, I can represent that velocity is equal to change in position in the sense, generally for distance we use the symbol called S, that is called displacement. For displacement we use symbol S. So S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. We can represent like this. S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. Or else X2, some books it may be written as X2 minus X1 by T2 minus T1. Even in some books it was written that X1 minus X0, because so it is a final distance, it is a final distance and it is the starting point divided by T1 minus T0. So where S2, X2, these are all final point. S1 and X1 initial point. Just make note of it, these points. T2 final time, T1 initial time. You should not get confused to if they have given the different symbols. Wherever symbols, you should not get confused. Even they represent velocity is equal to del S by del T. It means change of distance by change of displacement divided by change of position divided by change of time. Even it may represent del X divided by del T, change of position by change of time. Now we are talking only about displacement, not the distance. We are talking only about displacement. Displacement and distance have different concepts. Do you know the difference between displacement and distance? Distance and displacement. So distance and displacement is very simple. If you are taking 2 points, the shortest distance is called displacement. This is called displacement. But any other way to reach here, that is called distance. Even displacement also can be called as distance, because this is also one of the way to reach B, right? If you start A, if you are reaching B, that is called distance. But if you are going in shortest way, that is called displacement. That is called displacement. Going from A to B is itself with distance. It is also distance. It is also distance. Why? This is also distance. But displacement is only one, from A to B, shortest distance. Did you understand what is distance and displacement? Did you understand what is distance and displacement? Purida? If you have understood easily, tell me in the chat box, understood easily. Yes, understood easily. Super. Very good, Jyotish, Jarvis. Okay. Good. Fine. Distance and displacement. If you consider about distance, you will get only speed. Distance by time is called speed. But displacement by time is called velocity. So now, did you understand what is the difference between speed and velocity? If we consider distance by time, that is speed. Displacement by time is velocity. So speed, no need of direction. There is no direction. Anyway you can go. But for velocity, you should have a direction. அதுக்கு ஒரு particular directionல நீங்க போகணும். Then only you will reach in the shortest way, right? So velocity meant for with direction. Speed is meant for without direction. Speed we are getting using distance and time formula. Velocity we are getting displacement and time formula. So I hope that you have understood about distance and displacement, speed, velocity. Now the important point of the next part in the motion is called acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but how speed you are going in particular time, how speed you are increasing your speed, how speed you are decreasing your speed. That is change of velocity by change in time. So acceleration is nothing but change in velocity by change in time. Change in velocity by change in time. For one particular second, how much speed you can increase. For 1 second, how much speed you can increase, how much velocity you can increase. That is called acceleration. As I all told you here, for 1 second, how much distance you can travel. In 1 second, how much distance you can travel, that is called velocity. Here, in 1 second, how much speed you can increase, how much velocity you can increase, that is called distance. For example, if you are moving in a speed of 5 meters per second, by the way, of next second itself, you are moving to 6 meters per second. In just 1 second, you are improving 1 meter per second. Then the acceleration is 1 meter per second square. 1 meter per second square. If you are moving in 5 meters per second speed, by the way, next second itself, you are moving to 8 meters per second. So you have increased 3 meters per second in just a single second. Here, the acceleration is 3 meters per second square. Again, I'm telling you cannot measure in single seconds practically. Only take your stopwatch, click, 1 second gone. How can you measure the increase of speed? Now what we can do, we can change. Let us take for 1 minute. If you are moving in 5 meters per second, after 10 seconds, you are moving to 15 meters per second. After 10 seconds. So change in velocity is 10 meters per second. 15 minus 5, 10. Change of time is 10 seconds. Now you can tell him that 1 meter per second square acceleration. So acceleration is nothing but velocity by time, or change in velocity by change in time. Then you can write as P2 minus V1 by T2 minus T1. In some places, it is shown that the initial velocity as U, final velocity as. Most of the authors and most of the book, most of the problem solving, we use these two symbols, U, V. U is initial velocity, V is final velocity. Or else V, V naught. So V naught is initial velocity, V is final velocity. You have to remember this. Why I'm telling these much of symbols means you need not to get confused in different authors' book. Even if you're going for competitive exams, they may ask different symbols. All over India competitive exams, இப்போ JEE, NEET இதெல்லாம் போனீங்கன்னா, it is going to be all over India நடக்க போகுது. ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேட்ல என்ன symbols யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்களோ, but we should know all these symbols. If we know all these symbols, whatever the twisted question, we can manage it easily. That is why I'm telling you these much of symbols. So you just understand the concept easily, so that you will be remembering these kind of symbols very easily. So I hope that you might have understand about motion. In motion, we have learned about this like motion and rest, distance, displacement. Distance by time is velocity. Distance by time is speed. Displacement by time is velocity, and velocity by time is acceleration. So till now we have learned about distance, displacement, velocity, speed, acceleration. If the object is accelerating to some extent, if we consider the mass of that object, then we call that as force. Then we call that as force. According to Newton's second law, let me tell you the three laws very easily in short 1 minute. In short 1 minute, I'll tell you. Okay, let me tell you about Newton's law in just single minute. First law, Newton's law. There are three laws: first law, second law, and third law. First law is nothing but if the object is in rest, it will be always in rest. If it is in motion, it will be always in motion. If the object is moving in a particular direction, it will be always moving in the same direction. If you want to change from rest to motion or motion to rest or change in direction of motion, you need to apply external force. This is what Newton's first law. For object restல இருக்கு, if I want to move that object, I need to give force. If the object is already in moving state, if I want to stop that object, if I want to make that object rest, I need to give force again. And if the object is moving along a particular direction, if I want to change the direction, again I need to give force. This is called Newton's first law. You should never forget it. Rest object will be rest, motion object will always in motion, direction will not change. If I want to change these states, I need to give extra force. This is called Newton's first law. This law is also called as law of inertia, because inertia is nothing but if the object is moving, it tends to move always. Even if you are giving force to stop it, it tends to move. That is called law of, that is called inertia actually. ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் மூவ் ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு, இப்படி மூவ் ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு, just I'm giving opposite force to stop it, but still it tried to move. That is called inertia. நம்ம பஸ்ல போயிட்டே இருப்போம், இல்ல கார்ல போயிட்டு இருப்போம், sudden brake if they apply it and we are moving forward because no I don't want to be rest, I want to move. That is called inertia. The same thing opposite. If the object is in rest, if I want to make move to the object, if I want to make that object move, again that object tends to rest. இல்ல நான் ரெஸ்ட்லயே இருப்பேன் அப்படின்னு ஒரு, that is called, that property is called inertia of rest. Again for the same thing for the motion direction. If the object is moving in a particular direction, if I want to change the direction, if I'm giving force, that object is trying to go in the same direction. That is called inertia of direction. நீங்க நல்லா பாருங்க, if you are moving in a car, sudden left turn எடுத்த உடனே what will happen? Do you know? You will just moving toward right side. Your right side, right? Your right side means this side. This side means it is the straight side. Oh, so you are trying to move in the same direction which you are moving. So this is called inertia. It is something similar to inertia. That is why it is called law of inertia. So inertia also talking about rest, motion, and change of direction. For Newton's first law also talking about rest, motion, and change of motion. So to change these kind of positions, these kind of states, we need to apply force. This is our first law. But what is second law? Second law is explaining that what is force. Second law is telling that force is directly proportionate to rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. What is rate of change of momentum in the sense? Momentum in the sense mass into velocity. Rate of change means for particular time how much changing divided by 2. So velocity by time is acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. This is what second law. First law is telling about we need to give force to stop, to move, to change the direction. Second law is telling it how much force you have to give. For that you can calculate from F is equal to ma, product of mass and acceleration. So if you want to move object which have high mass, you need to give high force. If you want to move the object which has low mass, you need to give less force. If you want to move the object in a greater acceleration, you need to give extra force. If you want to move the object in a lesser acceleration, in slow motion, you need to give less force. So force is directly proportional to mass and acceleration. This is second law. Third law is what is that? It is very easy. First law is telling about you need to give force to make the object to move, rest, and change the object, change the position, change the direction. Second law is telling that how much force you have to apply. Third law is telling that if you apply force on an object, that object will give you opposite force to you. If I give force, that is also giving me an opposite force. If I give F, it will give minus F. Same magnitude, opposite direction. So action, reaction. For every action, there is an equal option. This is what Newton's 3 law. Very easy. Simple. First law is telling about rest, motion, and change of position. To change the position and objects, we need to give force. One minute. Let me check it. What happened? One minute. Okay. Let me continue. I hope that it was fixed. Okay. Okay, this is what Newton's 3 laws of motion. Now the main part we are entering into the formulas. We should learn about these formulas to solve the numericals. First, for the motion, if the object is moving, we need to understand these 3 equations. Here V is the final velocity, U is the initial velocity, A is the acceleration, and T is the time taken. Anything else? S is the displacement. So we should just make a note of it. These 3 equation is very important thing. இந்த 3 equation நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சதுனா numericals almost 80% more than 80% of solution you can got it using these three equations. You just need to know how to apply these kind of equation. If you're having final velocity and initial velocity acceleration, you are asking about to find the time, then you can use this equation. Initial, final, and acceleration is having, and you are asking about the time taken. The same thing, instead of final velocity, if you are given the displacement, you can use this. And you are not even mentioned about time. The time itself not given, and you can use this equation. So you just need to understand where to apply which equation. This also you got it in very easy method. Actually, velocity by time is nothing but acceleration. Am I right? Velocity by time is nothing but acceleration. Velocity is equal to a into t. Actually, if you are moving, if the object is moving, then we can tell that as acceleration. All right, we can tell that as acceleration. Now, if the object having some initial velocity, means we should add that initial velocity u plus at. This is what u plus at. Now, instead of v, what I will do, v is equal to s by t, right? Just I am applying s by t is equal to u plus at. Just I am multiplying s is equal to ut plus at square. But you can see here we have half. It is because of integration, differentiation constant. Differentiation and integration. If you differentiate this, you will get that. So you will get only half extra here. Okay. Same thing, v is equal to at. A is equal to v is equal to at. A is equal to v by t. V by t means what I can write? 2as. I can write v square is equal to u square plus 2 square. Instead of v, you can write v square is equal to a square into t square. What is a square? V square by t square. Here t square. So you will get v square as v square. T square will get cancelled. Here 2as. A is nothing but v by t. V is nothing but s by t square into s. So here s square by t square you will get. That is called v square. That is why it is called 2as. Now here, if you take freely falling body in the sense, the object which is falling from the top, it is freely falling means initially I'm not giving you any velocity, so I can take u as 0 and acceleration as negative gravitation because it's again moving against the g, right? So minus g. So v is equal to minus gt. Here s is equal to minus half gt square minus 2as. Just make note of these things. This is what the important equations. If you know these equations, you can solve 80% of the sum easily. Have you copied? Yes. This is like in the equations, it is for motion, moving objects, something like any object. For example, if it is moving from left to right, if I'm throwing from bottom to top, likewise. இது எல்லாமே இந்த மாதிரி ஆகும். And especially for the parabolic motion, like projectile motion, if I'm here, if I'm throwing an object like this, it is moving like that. It is projectile motion if I'm throwing. So if I'm throwing this object, this angle is called A. I'm representing here A. This is called maximum height. This is called maximum height. And this is called maximum range. And what is that? Here, this is called initial velocity. Final velocity will be always 0, right? Because it is in the rest position. And anything I missed here? Okay. Time of flight in the sense, total time to take to reach the ground. Total time to take to reach the ground. So time of flight, range, H max. These three things are the important points in projectile motion. So time of flight is nothing but 2u sine A by G. Double the initial velocity, sine of angle of projection divided by gravity. Just remember that twice initial velocity, sine of angle divided by gravitation, acceleration due to gravity. Twice of initial velocity, sine of angle divided by acceleration due to gravity. Range is nothing but square of initial velocity twice the angle, like sine of twice the angle and divided by gravity. G on the divide, you just take it. G is always there in division, denominator. So 2u sine A, u square sine 2a, u square sine square A. Even some books, some authors, some exams in the A theta so that I can use this as sine theta, sine 2 theta, and sine square theta. I can write like that also. So on the whole, that is called projection, like angle of projection. That's it. Angle of projection. Did you understand this concept, these points? As I already told you, second law is dp by dt. dp means p means mass into velocity. That is momentum. So p is nothing but mass into velocity. Change of momentum divided by change of time. Change of momentum divided by change of time. FAB, so from third law of motion, FAB is BA. The force acting on A by B is called FAB. Here, the force acting on B by A, that is opposite force. So this is called third law of motion. Now I'm going to solve one or two questions to understand easily. You'll be understanding very easily. Now I'm going to take some questions here. Here is the question. The first question of the day. If in the question, if I'm asking you, if I'm giving you this question, first you should find out which problem, which which formula I should use. Which formula I should use. A ball is thrown. Okay, let me show you the question here. Is it visible? The question. 1 minute. Okay. A ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity 20 meter per second. First, to solve this question, you should understand the question first. Understanding the question itself, 50% of solution. I used to tell this to all my students. I have traveled in many schools. எல்லா ஸ்கூல்ஸ்ல இருக்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு நான் சொல்ற ஒரே பதில் இதுதான். If you understand the question, that itself 50% of solution over. If you understand what they are telling, if you understand what they are asking, the given data and to find data. Till now, if you understood, 50% over. First, let me tell you what are all the given data here. So this is what the procedure. Some of you might know about this. And given what we have given, a ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity 20 meters per second. So initial velocity is given that 20 meters per second from the top of the multi-story building. Okay, he's standing at the top of the building. The height of the point where the ball is thrown is 25 meters from the ground. Okay, so let me draw a rough diagram of a building. So this is ground, and the ball is thrown 25 meters above the building. Oh, so the building height is 25 meters. Am I right? Okay. Then what should we get? One minute, my pen is not writing here. Screen mint of 1 minute. I hope it is visible. 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me share the screen. Yes. Hope that it is visible to you now. How long it will be before the ball hits the top? So they are asking about. So they are asking about P. And S is given 25 meter per 25 meter. And G is given 10 meter per second square. This is what the given data. So first we should collect these given data. Then only we will understand what they have asked. Now we can take the equation. We have three equations, right? V is equal to ut plus half at. V is equal to u plus at. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. S is equal to ut plus half at square. You just need to understand which equation we should take. They're asking time, they have given initial velocity, and if it is falling on the ground, we should consider V as 0. So we have U, V, G, and asking about T means we can use this equation. So v is equal to u plus at. V is 0, u is nothing but they have given 20 plus a is given 10. Now the object is, whether the object is moving against the gravity or towards the gravity, means we have to use, it is falling down, right? So we take this as minus 10 into t. Now here 10t minus 10t will become 10t to equal to 20 by 10 equal to 2. So t will become 2 seconds. So time taken 2 seconds to reach. Okay. Now let me tell you what is the distance covered here. That's what I asked. That is what question asked. That's it. Now it is given that 25 meter. Let me explain you about these things. இதை வச்சு நம்ம எப்படி போடலாம்ன்றத நான் சொல்றேன் இன்னும். ஸோ இது வந்து 2 செகண்ட்ஸ்ல ரீச் ஆயிருக்கு. எங்க இனிஷியல் வெலாசிட்டி 20யும் ஃபைனல் வெலாசிட்டி 0வா வச்சு நம்ம கால்குலேட் பண்ணும்போது. Now what I am going to do, I am going to take s value. S value எதை வச்சு ஃபைண்ட் பண்ணலாம்னா இதை வச்சு ஃபைண்ட் பண்ணலாம். V square is equal to u square plus 2as. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. U square plus 2as. What is V? It is 0 actually. U square 40. Sorry, U square is 20 square. U square is 20 square plus 2 into 10 into s. Again, it is against the gravity. We should take minus. So 20s will come here. Here 20 square is 400. S is equal to 400 by 20. 40 by 22 will become 20. So S is 20 meter. Appo the building the height 25 meter இருக்கு அப்படின்னா it reach more than இன்னும் 20 மீட்டர் அதிகமா போயிருக்கு. இங்க வந்து ரீச் ஆகுது. இந்த ஹைட் பார்த்தா it is 45 meter because இது 25 அது 20. இப்போ நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கிறது இங்க இருந்து இங்க கீழே விழுற மாதிரி கான்செப்ட். Am I right? இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம மூணாவது ஈக்குவேஷன் இருக்கு இல்லையா, s is equal to ut plus half at square. இதை வச்சு பார்க்கும்போது இங்க இருக்கிற டோட்டல் டைம் நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும். ஸோ s is equal to ut plus half at square. Total time I'm telling about this. From top இங்க இருந்து எடுத்துக்கலாம். இங்க இருந்து இந்த இடத்துல இனிஷியல் வெலாசிட்டி வந்து 0வா இருக்கும். ஃபைனல் வெலாசிட்டியும் 0வா தான் இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஆக்சலரேஷன் இட் இஸ் டுவர்ட்ஸ் த கிராவிட்டிங்கிறதுனால பிளஸ்ல தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ டோட்டல் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் எவ்வளோ? 45. நான் இங்க இருந்து it reach here, so it is 45. Initial velocity is 0 plus half is 10 t square. So what I can do, I can take 45 is equal to 5 t square. 5 will come here, so 45 by 5 equal to t square. So t square equal to 9. T is equal to plus or minus 3, but it is time, so it should be taken as அப்போ இங்கிருந்து இங்க போறதுக்கு 2 செகண்ட் நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம், மேல ரீச் ஆகிறதுக்கு. இங்கிருந்து இங்க ரீச் ஆகிறதுக்கு 3 செகண்ட்ஸ் பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ டோட்டல் டைம் ஆஃப் ஃபிளைட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. டோட்டல் டைம் இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு 2 செகண்ட் plus 3 second equal to 5 seconds. That's it. Do you understand? I hope that you have understood this. If you have understood easily, tell me in the chat box, understood easily. Yes. Wow, super. Understood easily. Very good. Yes, sir. Understood easily. Super. Again, screen pocha. Let me show you once again. Till then, just tell me, like, Jarvis, நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. How was your experience? எப்படி புரிஞ்சுது ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து, from basics? I'll unmute yourself. One by one unmute பண்றேன். You can tell me. One minute. Let me share the screen. Okay. I hope it is visible now. Okay. Yes. Am I audible? Yes, audible. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's session. So first basics lenda ஆரம்பிச்சு motion, laws of motion, motion rest, velocity, speed, acceleration, force, laws of motion, இதை வச்சு நம்ம நிறைய ஃபார்முலாஸ் பார்த்தோம், நிறைய மெத்தட்ஸ் பார்த்துருந்தோம். இதோட கண்டினியூஷன் நான் வந்து இந்த கிளாஸ் நான் எடுக்கிறேன். I'll update you in that group. அந்த குரூப்ல நாளைக்கு நான் உங்களுக்கு அப்டேட் பண்றேன். இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி ஐ அம் கிவிங் யூ ஒர்க் ஷீட்ஸ் இன் தட் குரூப் இட் செல்ஃப். ஓகே, அந்த ஒர்க் ஷீட் பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுங்க. This Jyotish can't hear you. Am I audible now? Yes, I'm audible. Thank you. Fine. So இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒர்க் ஷீட்ஸ் தரேன். You just use that worksheets. அந்த ஒர்க் ஷீட்டை பேஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க சால்வ் பண்ணுங்க. யூ வில் பி கெட் எக்ஸ்பர்டைஸ். இதோட கண்டினியூஷன் கிளாஸ் இருக்கு. தட் ஐ வில் கிவ் யூ டுமாரோ ஆர் டே ஆஃப்டர் டுமாரோ. அது எப்படிங்கிறது நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன், அந்த குரூப்ல மென்ஷன் பண்றேன். ஓகே, இப்போ இதே போல கிளாஸ் உங்களுக்கு ரெகுலரா வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ஐ கிவ் யூ இந்த டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல நான் வந்து வாட்ஸ்அப் ஜாயினிங் லிங்க் அண்ட் டெலிகிராம் ஜாயினிங் லிங்க் நான் தரேன். அதில் ஜாயின் பண்ணிங்கன்னா இதே மாதிரியான கிளாஸ் ரெகுலரான பேசிஸில் அண்ட் ஒர்க் ஷீட்ஸ், ரெகுலர் ஒர்க் ஷீட்ஸ், இண்டிவிஜுவல் கிளாஸஸ் வில் பி கெட்டிங். யாருக்கெல்லாம் விருப்பம் இருக்கோ ஜஸ்ட் கிளிக் இந்த டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனில் இருக்கிற லிங்கை கிளிக் பண்ணி யூ ஜஸ்ட் ஜாயின் இன் வாட்ஸ்அப் டெலிகிராம் குரூப். ஸோ என்னோட கம்யூனிட்டியில் வந்தீங்கன்னா ரெகுலர் கைடன்ஸ் அண்ட் ஒர்க்ஸ் நான் உங்களுக்கு தரேன். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த சண்டே அந்த ஈவெண்ட்டு ஆல்ரெடி நடந்த ஈவெண்ட்டுக்கு உங்களுக்கு தேவை அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ஜஸ்ட் ரெக்வெஸ்ட் மீ. ஐ கிவ் யூ த லிங்க் ஆஃப் தட் ஈவெண்ட் அகைன் ஸோ தட் யூ கேன் வாட்ச் இட் அகைன். அதில் கிடைச்ச எல்லா இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வச்சு இந்த கிளாஸ் நீங்கள் அட்டன் பண்ணும்போது உங்களுக்கு இன்னும் ரொம்ப சூப்பராக ஈஸியாக புரியுற மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட் guys. I'll give you the worksheets tomorrow morning and இதோட கண்டினியூஷன் கிளாஸ் இருக்கு. அதை பத்தி நான் அப்டேட்ஸ் நான் உங்களுக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல நான் கொடுக்குறேன். Okay, so have a lovely evening. See you in the next class.